Imagine being the person who presses the button that either saves the world
Launch activated.
or ends it. That's the feeling Kathryn Bigelow builds her entire film around.
Come on, what are you waiting for?
House of Dynamite isn't really about a bomb. It's about what goes on in the deafening silence before it. Because in this film, that silence is where Bigelow finds her magic. The collision of impending doom and emotional restraint.
We did every thing right.
Let me show you how she does it. The horn of the toy train circling the boy. The Civil War reenactment. The elephants roaring at each other in the safari. Bigelow uses sights and sounds from these scenes to symbolize and foreshadow the big threat. But when it comes to the actual nuclear crisis itself,
What is it, Sergeant?
there's barely any sounds at all. No warning sirens, no music or cinematic buildup. Even when upping the alarm to DEFCON 2
Have we seen DEFCON 2 before? No.
and DEFCON 1, there's no alarm bell that you'd expect. Star Trek, anyone?
We're losing antimatter containment.
Because not only is Bigelow trying to be true to life, the mechanical sound effects would also distract us from the human emotion that lives inside the characters. She shows us every small step they take to navigate the tension of the moment.
Rate of ascent slowing, inclination is flattening.
Velocity?
Steady, sir. 6 kilometers per second.
Bigelow uses procedure as a storytelling device, not as a means to an end, but as the drama itself. Like rituals, these procedures pull us into the moment.
We've trained for this a million times. You're good.
It's almost like hypnosis. They allow us to lose ourselves in the ceremony.
White House situation.
I need a Mandarin translator.
But she isn't showing us every step on computer screens or dashboards. She's showing close-ups of the soldiers' faces, where we feel the real emotional tension.
Follow the steps. We're following procedure.
And while Bigelow often begins her scenes with a wide shot, she always centers them around the close-ups. Throughout the film, these tight shots use a shallow depth of field. The characters are sharp, but everything around them falls out of focus. It gives us literally no choice but to lock onto their emotions. And she keeps us in that space for almost the entire film.
Your orders, Mr. President.
And look here at one of the most climactic moments. The camera zooms in so close on the screen, it can't even stay in focus. It's another great way to help us feel that level of panic that the story's at. And to me, what really helps the emotions stand out in Bigelow's films are the understated details.
Did you see that ball game last night?
These moments work almost like little psyops, or psychological operations. They inject a quiet tenderness into the story quickly and efficiently. Have a nice day. Or this cutaway to Olivia's son's toy dinosaur. Or the soldier's 3-year-old son's stuffed animal that falls to the ground. They're usually really brief shots, and at the time I didn't think much of them. But as a director friend of mine who knows a thing or two about psyops likes to say, you might not see these shots, but you'll feel them.
I want you to go and get my cell.
When Olivia, played by Rebecca Ferguson, opens her phone to call her husband and son, the photo on her phone screen shows the two of them standing together on some steps. And then in the next shot, when we see them heading for the car, her husband's carrying their son away from a different set of steps in the background, with his son on the same side of him as the picture. This was not a coincidence. They did a good job connecting the image on the phone to the two of them in real life. This way, there's no confusion on who they are during a series of close-up shots. It's very efficient and effective communication, or as I like to call it, good filmmaking.
We're talking about hitting a bullet with a bullet.
The Civil War reenactment with kids frames the whole thing perfectly. It reminds us that, compared to nuclear missiles, the Civil War is child's play. But it also exposes something darker, our own childishness, playing games with weapons that are largely out of our control. So the title, House of Dynamite, means many things. And one of them is the way the film's edited. It's like a house. It starts at the foundation, the lower ranks, and each time the timeline starts over again, it builds upward. First from the soldiers on the ground,
Clean up your workstation.
to STRATCOM,
8 sugars, please.
to the Secretary of Defense,
I don't want to be caught with our pants down.
and finally the President.
My job is to make this decision.
Each floor of the house reveals a new layer of procedure and perspective. And by the time we reach the top, we see just how fragile this house really is.
What kind of f***ing question is that?
The POTUS, played with quiet authority by Idris Elba, sums it up.
Just being ready is the point. Keeps the world straight. If they see how prepared we are, no one starts a nuclear war, right?
It turns out that all of these procedures we've been watching are the nuclear deterrent itself, because they make the United States look and feel prepared to react. But when reality hits and someone anonymously attacks the US without us knowing who to retaliate against,
Your choices are surrender or suicide.
the whole deterrent apparatus collapses like a house of cards.
This is insanity, okay?
No, sir. This is reality.
The president's moral compass, his North Star, his wife, is far away on an African safari, surrounded by a house of elephants alerting each other to the human danger. She's distant and hard to reach, just like his own sense of morality in the middle of a crisis. There's also these shots of lions from the safari, just before introducing us to the president in the first place. What's interesting to me about lions is how calm they are under pressure. Their confidence is a huge part of their deterrent. It keeps other predators at bay. But because the American deterrent system didn't work, that confidence goes out the window. And the fate of the world comes down to an impossible choice.
This is insanity.
In the end, Bigelow isn't just warning us about nuclear war. She's showing us how fragile our control of it really is, and how much of it depends on the person in charge when we're already in one.